holding about as much tension as I can hold. The other thing I hadn't pointed out was playing with different diameter rods. Something I've been wanting to address on the ECX Barrage with my dual shock setup. The spring rates were a little bit too stiff up front. Went with dual shocks to handle the 5,000 milliamp hour battery pack and the servo winch, but I couldn't find springs with a softer rating, so I came up with a solution. I chose like a third smaller diameter. The original springs are 32 thou. And I just did it on the front shock. Then it came out about right. I tried making, well, I did make 4 springs and replaced all 4, and it was a little too soft. So I'm just trying to adjust for the added weight up front and still keep my suspension tuned. Maybe you remember this from a prior video, but as far as articulation, when any corner reaches max travel, that tire is just leaving the ground, or these springs reaching full articulation. So my setup was, I have a line here, it's a little bit hard to see, corresponding magic marker line right about there, which is the length of my stock spring. So that's the distance I want to wind across there. And I simply C-clamped the wire. So the wire is coming off of here underneath the C-clamp. I'm way down here. I found out from practice it's about, believe it or not, 15 to 20 inches of wire to make one of them springs. Get a nice tight grip on the drill, operate it with your thumb. You start winding over to your line, then pull the wire down straight, get like 2 wraps, pause the drill, and the trick for an even spring is figure out, I did it through trial and error, the angle you want to hold the wire. And the other factor for diameter is how much tension. Seemed like the more tension, I got as much tension as I could hold hanging on to the drill, and with the pliers pulling down straight, and just maintain that angle as it goes across. When you get to the second marker line, swing the angle of the wire down, pause the drill, swing the angle of the wire down, do 2 wraps. I'm running the drill that way, which, if you look at the direction, drill turn that way, it's going to wind your wire this way, same as the stock spring. All right, let's wind the spring. First gear, working over to my mark, just any random angle. Now I'm bringing the wire straight down, pausing the drill. I want 2 wraps. Right there. Pause the drill. Change my angle. Eyeballing that from past experience, trial and error on the lead that I had. Start winding. Holding about as much tension as I can hold. The other thing I hadn't pointed out was playing with different diameter rods, which will give you the diameter spring you want. So paused again, wire straight down, a couple winds. There's the spring. I just park this in my lap, get a hold of the spring. I don't want things to just fly loose. Cut it off. And I'm just releasing the spring. There's my spring. So undo the C-clamp, take my spring off. Now the couple winds on each end, you can see that one actually came out a little crooked, probably wasn't holding enough tension. But let's look at this one for the purpose of this video. You can do this too. I'll do a slight bit of tweaking. There you go. Level that out. Square it up perpendicular to the coil. So then what I'm going to do is about a half turn around to here. Come in here with my wire cutters. Not super critical. And there's how I want the end to look. Well, that wraps up my ECX Barrage project. ECX Barrage monster truck. Monster truck look anyway. At heart, she's a full-fledged 4-link crawler. Got some stuff that might surprise you coming on this build.